you want.
Started.
Okay, we're explaining the operation of the CM110 filling machine, and an air supply is required. We recommend a 1/2-inch air supply connected to the incoming air cutoff, lockout tagout here. It's a 1/2-inch thread, and we've just got a small temporary line here. So what we're going to do is we connect that up, and we're going to need 110 volts, which is about 5 amps is what the machine requires. And we plug that in, and the machine is set for 100 psi, and it can be adjusted, but 100 psi is what we have stamped on here. So once we have air and electricity on the machine, we're ready to begin. This is a dry air machine. There's no oil, and you have 3 valves. This is a safety valve. This is the hopper valve, or pusher valve. This is the hopper that in and out, and this is the riser. So we have a pusher cylinder, a riser cylinder, and a hopper cylinder. And there's 3 valves that make them work. This is a safety valve. When you turn power off to the machine, this valve will disengage. So right now I'm going to power up the machine, and we'll see this light up. Okay. We will dry cycle the machine and just operate it now that we have power on. And we'll show you the controls first. The main power on is right here. So we can, when we have to have air and power on the machine, we simply come over here and turn this on and press the system start. And there's a selector switch here that allows you to jog this pusher cylinder in manual, or in auto, you press the foot pedal one time and the so-called pusher will push the fill into the cover. And there's a counter reset which resets this counter. So there's a totalizer counter which you can keep track of your production. The machine is equipped with a PLC with a logic built into it. So in the event that if there's ever a failure or whatever, we have to program a new module for you and send it out. Okay, we'll dry cycle the machine. And now we can two-hand control. It requires 2 hands to make the machine go closed. This one here allows you to jog it open. If you jog it open too far, again, the pusher, two hands, jog open. Or if I put the selector switch to automatic, the pusher operates, get it one time, and oh boy, this is good. Our temporary air supply is a bit weak. Okay. There's a slide attachment here, a slide bar. And the opening and closing louvers between 2 proximity switches. And we can set that wherever we want it to, wherever we want it. And you know, with the hopper in the down position. And then we can dry cycle the machine for setup purposes. Eric, I want you to, or Derek, I want you to just focus on this. These switches, when they get magnetic switches that activate once they're made. So anyway, that's the stopping position. And then again, we can adjust that wherever we want to. And then when we go to run the machine, it'll self-adjust to whatever position we have it in. And again, there's a thumb knob here that you can change it or tune it per your liking. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and fill your cushion that you sent, the sample. We're going to place the cushion right in so it's about flush in the front. And usually we want to be centered right over our gear rack. That's our main drive unit for the machine. So we want to be about in that range right there with it. And with our cushion inside the hoppers, again, we got to be careful so we don't rip the, and if we do go too far, we can close it again. But if we want to, so it's very simple to operate and maintain. We have very, very few calls on these machines. The machines are very, very trouble-free. We supply a grease gun with the machine and grease. These bearings once a year maximum. They don't need much grease. This slide bar here on both sides could use a small amount of lubrication on a weekly basis. And there's 3 grease fittings here, 1, 2, 3, that will need lubrication approximately once a week, depending on how much production you do. But you know, a small amount of lubrication, maybe about 4 or 5 pumps, and we just need to make sure that we keep the machine as clean as possible. And we supply a blow nozzle. The machine can be cleaned off on a daily basis. And we also have one other adjustment that we'll show you quickly. And that's for the cushion height. Again, we have a decal on here that we do not want to over-compress in the downward motion. But this right here, you can loosen it up and adjust it up and down. And you want to keep your hoppers fairly level, top one. But anyway, it can be adjusted up and down, and then you lock it down with the wrench that we provide. I think that's about all we can tell you. The cylinders all have adjustments, and everything should be preset. It's an air cylinder. I mean, these air cylinders have adjustable stops and cushions on each end, and it takes a small screwdriver here to adjust them, but they've been preset, and I'll activate it one time here. A small amount of WD-40 on these slide bars does assist or make them slide more evenly and smoothly. We have some customers that don't do anything to the machines and they just run them. So I mean, it's entirely up to you or up to the customer to how far they want to take it. But again, keeping the machine clean is critical. And I guess that's it. The machine has been preset. There should be little adjustment required, and if there is, you certainly can call for support anytime. Thank you.
Started.
Okay, we're explaining the operation of the CM110 filling machine, and an air supply is required. We recommend a 1/2-inch air supply connected to the incoming air cutoff lockout tagout here. It's a 1/2-inch thread, and we've just got a small temporary line here. So what we're going to do is we connect that up, and we're going to need 110 volts, which is about 5 amps is what the machine requires. And we plug that in, and the machine is set for 100 psi. And it can be adjusted, but 100 psi is what we have stamped on here. So once we have air and electricity on the machine,